Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our podcast tonight with your lovely hosts, Salah Rushdi.
What's up?
What up? It's Rush in the house.
Oh my god, we're going for that now.
Double names.
Hey, you didn't tell me that. Now I sound like the uncool uncle.
You're South.
That,
Now I sound like a kid's TV show.
that sounds like a supermarket.
Look, guys, it's Rush and South.
It's Rush, the rapper, and Sal, the discount coupon for Lulu.
The charity worker. Just did it in less words.
Sal.
Hey, who's this guy sitting
I
next
don't know.
to
There's
us?
someone literally like in the middle of us.
Why is this happening?
Why? I don't know.
Oh, I recognize him. It's Osama.
Hey.
Hey guys,
What's up, Osama? What are you doing here?
how you doing? Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me over.
Yeah, invite.
yeah. Sure.
I just
that.
stayed longer, didn't I? Just stayed until everyone left.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool place
for
you
those
got
of you, thanks, Osama. For those of the listeners who don't know, Osama is a big, he's a homie of ours, a brother,
What up?
a lover,
Hell yeah.
a family member,
Amen.
and it's someone we get along with a lot. And if
Whoa,
you haven't,
whoa. Let's keep it to the truth.
well, he gets along with me, I guess.
Yeah.
True.
And since you can't see us, he's brown.
Oh.
Apparently, he didn't know that.
Yeah, did you not know that?
We just revealed that to him.
Oh no! What?
Okay.
I'm brown.
Yeah. Yeah. And tonight and today's
Today, tonight, whenever you're
Whenever
listening to
you're
this,
listening to
to
it,
your
yeah.
see the listeners, you're the most important.
Whenever it's
whatever time
convenient.
it is.
Wow, you really are laying the
we
butter
are
like
100%.
really laying it thick tonight.
We're talking about what it's like brown perspective. Now don't disconnect if you're not brown. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's sort of like our perspective on. Oh, I didn't realize this is a cultural thing or or our family thing. Because I'm from Sri Lanka, and what about you lads?
I'm from Pakistan,
Yeah,
and I
same
grew
here.
up in Saudi.
Same here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we
Hang
found
on a
Sal's.
second.
We found Sal's replacement. Oh my gosh.
What, is that what's happening? Is that how he suddenly just happened to show up? That's what's happening?
Right?
You could
And-
have texted me about this
No, we want to do it in person. It's professional.
live on a
On a
But
podcast.
I think growing up, both of us in Saudi and being Pakistani, let's see how our brown goggles, if we can
Yeah.
call it that. Let's see how our brown goggles compare.
But you're a decade younger than I am, right? Roughly?
I'm how old am I? I think I'm 34 this year.
Oh, this is on
35 maybe.
This is on a podcast
Yeah,
now.
man.
Oh,
forever.
right.
Recorded.
Yeah, I'll stay that age. 1987, so
Yeah,
I'm
so
in my
you're-
30s.
No, you're
Yeah.
35, dude.
Wow.
Oh, when your birthday this year.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I know the age difference now.
Mhm.
It's let's not.
Yeah. Why are you
Yeah.
doing that? Don't do that. Let's go into it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I
So-
don't know why I brought that up because I was like, if we're talking about Saudi, are we talking about two different experiences? But we're close enough.
Yeah.
We're
No,
close
I'm just
enough.
mean like when you were a kid, like what made you realize, oh, we're different from the others.
Did I realize that when I was a kid? I'm not too sure. It was because we had all kinds of expats
yeah.
around us.
Yeah.
And like yourself, I guess, over here. So initially, expat experiences were quite similar.
Like,
Well,
put you on the spot there.
like how do you get anything done here? Back in the day.
Well, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of a weird expat experience. I grew up in Saudi, and you couldn't. Maybe you can now, but you couldn't go to university as an expat.
Yes.
In Saudi, right? You didn't have access to university. That was
There were no universities.
There were no universities. I mean, they existed, but for Saudis, let's be clear.
like international.
There's
students,
yeah,
like,
and they
that's
had a
what they
very
call
small quota, and typically that was just like 5
Mad.
kids a year or something. Yeah.
And we weren't really on that
Right. So
list of like these 5.
right.
it. You weren't knocking on their
It's
doors
like-
going, "Hey guys,
Yeah.
you need to add a sixth,
Right.
and that sixth one is me."
Right? It's like I don't think we're scholarship material.
They looked at us. They said last 5 maybe. If absolutely no other expat
give you
kid
that.
is left in Saudi, and you're amongst the last 5, then we'll reduce the quota to
No,
3.
I think they looked at us and they said cancel visa immediately. Like
Yeah,
get
yeah.
this person off our land.
We, I mean, I was in Dubai, but we never celebrated birthdays. Birthdays wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, birthdays was huge in my family.
Yeah, I did too. I did birthdays, and actually we had a happy childhood. Sorry, Rushdi.
No. I remember having one birthday, and it's kind of like for the sake of having it. It was at Popeye's Chicken,
Okay.
and there was no like.
Do they have
Popeye's
a
chicken
kids
sandwich.
play
There was
place there?
Dude, they did, and guess who showed up?
Popeye.
Oh my God.
He showed up, and I was like, "This guy should die."
No
'Cause
wonder
he's
that-
got, like the Family Guy joke. He's just got like diseases, so everything is too large. He looks swollen, basically. He looks like.
So
he's
he did
walking.
have what, like prosthetic arms?
The only thing he couldn't do he was just like, "Hello, I'm
Did he
Popeye."
have a
Was
Pipe?
it some Arab dude doing that?
I don't know what.
Or a brown guy, some other brown dude just
Maybe.
going, Haka astaghfirullah.
Going, I love with spinach in Hindi.
Yeah. Sabzi? What was,
Spinach? Palak, man.
Palak.
Palak
I love
paneer.
palak.
It sounds so much less powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Palak will
it's
save you.
emasculating. Palak
Yeah.
just sounds.
Even at the birthday in Popeyes, I was like, this is super weird. Because we were just not used to it. Like, how
Just a slight.
functionality.
Dude, I'm going to come back to the Popeye story, but, your birthday story, but I just remembered, because of Popeyes, I was like, I want to try spinach.
Oh, God.
Right? And then we had the brown palak version, which is like this overly cooked, curried kind of
Yeah.
version of it.
Yeah.
And I remember just kind of crying,
Yeah.
having like, hey, this ain't the thing I saw in the cartoon.
Yeah.
It's not from a can.
And
What
obviously,
is this?
you're not getting any muscles
Dude,
immediately. that
listen.
is.
listen
Muscle, I think I got high blood pressure. 'Cause
when I was a kid, I was watching TV, and we had U.S. television. My dad worked in aviation. We grew up in a compound, so a lot of our neighbors.
look at him showing off.
Well, no. I mean, I have to admit, we were privileged. Definitely had a great childhood. But I saw steaks on TV. I was a kid, and I told my mom, make me steaks. And you know what she did?
I think I
Beef
can.
fry masala.
She cut the steaks, beautiful meat, and she pressure cooked into curry. She said, there's your steaks.
That's not mushroom sauce. That's masala. That's garlic.
I was like, it's not like the cartoons, like not like the TV.
That's so desi mom, dude.
Yeah.
So desi.
That
But yeah,
happened.
so going back to oh wait,
his birthday.
yeah, let's
Popeyes?
go subtangent and then original
So
tangent.
original
yeah.
tangent.
Yeah.
I'll finish the story off. Worst birthday of my life because they always do the chicken dance. Na, 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 and I'm like, I hate this so much. I now hate my birthday.
So does
How
Popeye?
old were you?
9.
Does Popeye come out on his own?
He comes out on
Alone.
It's pretty sad.
What is he
Tiny
offering? What's his shtick?
Muscles? I don't know.
No, but what does he
What
do
is-
for the kids?
Nothing. He just greets you, shakes your hand. I think he signs pictures. I don't know, man. I
Is
can't
there
remember.
cake?
You
There's
posed
cake.
with
There's cake. You pose, but it's kind of weird.
Yeah, like
You're
this
posing
guy,
with the muscle
old guy.
man, yeah.
Old muscle guy.
Bad suit. It was like 19 whatever. It was like 1999.
Yeah.
So the suit.
That does sound.
You know
kinda
what it
weird.
is? Look,
sad.
there's a big difference with the suits. If you have like a Barney type, right, you can hide the whole face. But if you have a hybrid type of mascot, right, where you're part human and part prosthetic arms, that's freaky.
Oh, I've done that.
Also, like Popeye's not smiling.
Oh, hold up, explain.
I know. do
I
have
played a
heard this.
Teletubby. I'm not-
Teletubby.
Yeah.
Wow, you're famous, dude.
No, not on
Are you
TV.
on IMDb?
Not on
Which one were you, Lala?
Ipsy? Dipsy?
I don't even know.
Maybe you were Poe.
I don't
I feel
even
like
know.
he's a Poe.
I don't even know
Yeah,
what
he's
it
a
was. I don't even know the names. All it was like some kid's birthday party, some event company hired us.
Oh my
And
God.
next thing I know, I was wearing this costume, and someone told me these are Teletubbies, and I recognized it later. I've never watched it,
Yeah.
but I was just grateful. Apparently one is feminine.
I think they all
I
are.
think they're all.
Oh really?
To a
they
degree.
all are a little bit.
Oh my God! Some little self-respect I had. Not that I have anything against females.
Oh my God.
It was just. This was back.
So
in-
you didn't know how to play it, but you had the costume.
I was the kid, like I was at the kids party in that costume, and I remember one of the kids catching. We were strictly told not to talk, and I remember
You're like, I need to take a dump, guys.
pretty much.
Poe needs to take a poo.
I was whispering to one of my friends who was also in the costume, and we turn around. This kid turns to us and goes, "I heard you."
You're like,
And I'm gonna tell all the other kids. And then we literally chased after him. It's like one of those chase scenes in movies, like trying to catch and shut him up. You know?
Silence the witness.
Pretty much. Oh.
Did you catch him?
Yeah, we did, but I think by the time it kind of cooled off and like, we didn't get caught.
You were laying low.
Yeah, we did. But there was a problem because of the hand. Like you could
Alright.
see a little bit of our hand.
Yeah.
So there was another kid who was like, "I see you. You're inside there." And I'm like, "Shut up, man. I'm trying to earn some
my money,
Yeah.
dude.
What about you, Rushdi? Have you ever played?
I've done Tony the Tiger.
No,
Nice.
I've done a tiger.
They're great.
Oh,
That's-
wow.
That was
At
my
what?
line, my big line. Mercado Mall. You know what the best part was? I was Tony the Tiger going, they're great, and I was selling balloons. It doesn't make
Did you have
any
a tail?
sense. I did have a
Just
tail.
mess around with your
In
tail.
1 week, I didn't have a
Whoa,
tail.
whoa! Why was Tony the Tiger?
Because
Why
trademark
was
wasn't an issue in the, in the early 2000s. Because they literally said, you're going to sell balloons? I was like, easy. They're like, it's 100 dirhams a day. I was like, awesome. And they're like, you're going to wear this suit. And I was like, why? I was like, I know I'm not the most beautiful, but you don't need a
Yeah.
beautiful face to
Some
sell
of the
balloons.
costumes are really bad, man. Like,
Bad? Okay, wait. I got my costume and I was like, cool, this is my costume. My body will be inside this for like 12 hours. And then I realized it's already moist.
yeah.
And then I just go, you know,
Oh.
it's there's something wrong with it. He's like, no, it's fine. Someone just wore it.
Oh my
And I was
god.
like,
Oh.
And I was
Yeah.
like, basically, it was
Breathing
it
it in,
had,
Yeah.
breathing the other guy's
absorbing it.
essence.
That's the origins of COVID. That's that costume. So you were talking about the birthday party of 9 years old.
Great.
No, now we're back to Popeyes.
Oh, now we're
Alright.
back to original thread. University.
University.
So I left Saudi
Oh, yeah.
after high school, eventually for university. I went to the UK, and that's when.
Oh.
Can I say SHIT? Can I say that on the podcast? Is that?
Well, you spelled it out now. I think.
so you can't say it. You can't say the word.
That's
that-
when that's when I realized things got real.
You break up the word. You go shahid.
Right. Dude, you're paying bills, and then you see this line VAT. You're like, what's that?
Oh.
Right? Oh, that's whacked on. You get a job, and then you see this deduction called NI, National Insurance. Like, what's that? Right? And then like some other taxes, and then you're paying bills, and you're like, man, these are unreal. That's like my entire paycheck. I've
Yeah.
just paid this one bill, and as an expat. And also, I think as a Pakistani, definitely, Sal, maybe you guys have similar experiences. You're so well taken care of, I guess, right?
Yep.
Yeah, your adults are like really adults, and they baby you.
Yeah.
You kind of miss all these like important beats.
There was no real inflation either in the Gulf back then.
no, it
I don't
was
remember.
so cheap.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I've mentioned this to you guys. We used to fill up the equivalent of 5 dirhams. So that's like a little more than $1, dollar and a half
Yeah,
at most,
yeah.
not even. And that was enough petrol to like go around joyriding with like your friends and stuff for a good amount of time. That's it.
Man, I remember times when
imagine.
you're on
And that was an American car my dad had.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a small
Toyota.
fuel efficient thing we're talking about.
And it was really different because a lot of the petrol stations or gas stations are family owned, or used to be in Saudi. So you wouldn't have big chains like Enoch or Adnoc or Shell or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And each of them
Family
looked
owned?
different. Yeah, each of them had a
Yeah.
supermarket. Supermarket was
A
quirky.
mom and pop petrol pump.
Yeah, like
Pretty
you know,
much.
like a Saudi family, just like, hey, we're gonna have like petrol, and I'm gonna put shiny things up here, and I'm gonna put like you know, embroidery here. I'm gonna put lights here, and the only thing that's common between them is the rates. But I remember times when we were on fumes, like joyriding in our friends' cars, and we'd pull up to one of these stations, and we didn't even have money. We were kids. The guy would just give us some. That's how generous there was. There was a time when
It was cheaper than
it
water.
was so cheap, yeah,
Yeah, literally.
and so available, I guess.
We were talking about culture stuff. So
Yeah.
another
that's-
thing, my mom, she stacks newspapers,
Oh.
and any place she can lay down the newspaper, so it's cupboard, in the cupboards before you put the plates on, newspaper. On
Yeah.
top of the fridge, newspaper.
Yeah.
When she's
Cover,
frying
yeah,
stuff,
clothes, right? Like
clothes,
yeah.
newspaper.
Yep.
Just anywhere she
What
can.
about mats? Like
Mats? What sort of
coasters, mats.
Not too intense, but they were
even
there.
even to put
Which is surprising because she's like newspapering the whole
Correct.
place. And that's how I got my news mostly back then.
Yeah.
Kids who are googling around. In my day, you had to hunt around. And one of the joys was though, every couple of like 6 months or whatever, she would change the newspaper lining
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the closet.
Yeah.
And so you'd come across these old news pieces, and that'd be like a discovery. Like, oh yeah, this day in history, which was 6 months ago.
And you sort of remember it because as you keep using one paper, it starts staining, right?
Yep.
It starts, and then all of a sudden you have this fresh like new paper, and you, oh, hang on a second, that's new. It's been refreshed.
Yeah. Why was it just to avoid having to dust it, right?
I think our moms at that time, they would have loved to put either the cupboard has to be extra, like extra nice that it's so like the surface itself is beautiful to look at, or they would have gotten another cloth or some sort of placemat.
Yeah, but why
Something.
buy cloth for this when you have free newspaper? or
And why is my
newspaper?
mom refolding clothes that I've already folded? I don't know.
That's-
Why is she doing
Guys,
this?
I gotta ask you, did you ever have a cover for your TV remotes?
Of
Oh,
course.
Are you kidding me?
I literally have a joke about
If
it.
my mom didn't cover the TV remote, I think she'd throw the TV. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
But
TV's
plastic,
garbage.
like
And did you ever have were your tables always exposed, or did you ever have something draped over it like that?
Always.
Something?
tables, like a tablecloth.
Yeah,
Tablecloth.
Oh,
or
obviously. I didn't know for the longest of time. I didn't know our dining table's actual color until one day, like
you
just
forget. It's like, whoa, it's a beautiful
Oh,
wooden
like
table.
my whole life I didn't. It was like one of those moments, like what? It's brown. Like
You want to hear something extra?
Yeah.
My mom had a fabric, right, a tablecloth, and then a clear, thick piece of plastic,
Yep.
a sheet of plastic, exactly the same size as the tablecloth, right on
to
top.
protect the tablecloth.
To
right?
protect the tablecloth, and
Which
so
is
you just
protecting the
wipe down
table.
the plastic.
Double protection.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure my mom
I
had
had
it,
that,
and I
yeah,
just didn't pay attention to it.
Oh my god, and aluminum foil, obsessed with it. Everything gets aluminum foiled.
Did you
what?
have back in those times also your school notebooks?
Oh my, dude.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know. So my mom would spend like maybe 2 days
With
just
covers,
wrapping
to put
my
covers?
books.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why though?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
But
There'd be a brown
okay,
paper.
I'll confess. I'll confess. I really liked picking my labels. I tried to get the cool ones.
Where'd you go?
The year I got teddy bears and hearts, dude, I was so disappointed. Like my
Oh,
whole
you were-
year was ruined.
I was thinking you were gonna go. I was so happy about it.
No, man, I needed cars. So there was these labels that had like cool cars on it. My favorite, teddy bears and hearts, dude. I think that grade I was depressed. the
My
whole
G,
year.
I had Ninja Turtles.
Hey, that's so cool.
That was, yeah.
You
That is so
really
cool.
had a privilege.
Yeah, dude. You don't
I
belong
was
here.
obsessed with Ninja Turtles. Our wall
You were
clock
that
was
brown
Ninja
kid who
Turtles.
like we were like this guy sucks.
Yeah.
He has all
He's the one who
this
comes
stuff.
back from summer and goes, I went to the States and here's a new Leonardo toy I got.
I actually, with a name like Osama, and I never
Oh.
went when I was younger. So older, no chance. I just
Even
never.
worse.
Yeah.
What? Anything else that comes to mind about like a cultural thing? 'Cause
Dude, my dad used to go up to my teachers like in school and be like, "How's Rushdi doing?" And they're like, "Ah, he distracts and he's very mischievous." Like, beat him. Like to the teacher, beat him. That's how I get him to listen. And I'm like, please, teacher, please.
I didn't have that.
No,
I
man,
think
my
we're
dad
speaking
is-
a whole different grade level.
Well, I had
very
I had
different.
a hybrid. So my dad left Pakistan when he was maybe 21. As soon as he graduated, he couldn't wait. He left. He got the first job he could get. So he started in shipping when he was very young
Oh, same.
in Saudi, yeah, and worked his way up a few years. Then he got into aviation, but he was always on the technology side. And back then, it was a young country. They didn't really have a lot of the city built out. So at aviation, for aviation staff, they actually built this compound, this little city. People
Saudi
live
city?
there. No, it's called Kaya, K-A-I-A.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, they've demolished it, by the way, today.
Really?
I heard that finally it was meant to exist for 50 years, just to set that place up. Anyway, my dad always tried to really not raise us the way his father did. His father's very strict.
Yeah.
I would say even maybe unloving. Yeah, his father was just old school. He softened up near the end, but it was too late. And so my dad would really try and balance things out. I remember parent-teacher conferences. Now, I wasn't a fantastic student. I always had mischief, but I had great grades. My teachers would talk to my parents and say, this guy is really out of control and he doesn't really pay attention, or he's very distractive, or so on. And my dad would try and be cool, so he's not about like punishing or whatever, but what he would say to the teachers, I want you to give him extra work. I want you to give him like 4 weeks of work, you know?
Keep him busy.
Yeah, teach
Throw
him a
him under the
lesson.
bus.
That's what you got to do. And then you got to evaluate him after and call me and tell me what's happening. So that was his form of still punishing me somehow.
Yeah.
My dad story, you're talking about how your dad was. My dad, once my dad didn't pay the school fees, like for the year.
Classic, mine
And
too.
Me too. And then they come in, they knock the door. Hello, can I get Rushdi? And I'm like, oh no, what have I done? And then they call me out and they're like, your dad didn't pay the fees. And I'm like, okay. Like I'm gonna be like, how much do I owe you? And take out my wallet, Velcro wallet.
Great, thanks for
How much
letting
is
me know.
it?
I
2
guess.
dirhams? I don't
Do you
have
accept
money.
MasterCard?
I'll take it up the
So
ladder,
they're
up the
like,
chain.
come on down. We're gonna call your dad from the office. I'm like, cool. My dad's in trouble, I guess. So I go to the office, and then they call and they're like, this is your number. I'm like, sure, whatever. I don't care. They call. They wait. He didn't pick up. Put the phone down. She's like, I'm gonna try one more time. Cool. And then she's like, okay, he didn't pick up. He's busy at work probably. So tell him, and then we'll see tomorrow. So I go back home, and my dad's like sitting at home on the couch. And I'm like, hey dad, they were calling you for the fees. And he's like, yeah, tell them don't call me anymore. He's like, I'm not gonna pick up. I don't have the money. Like, what can I do? And I'm like, Dad, what's wrong with you?
I didn't have that big a problem. I think with my dad, it was his office that would pay a certain amount,
okay.
and they'd delay it. So, and we normally didn't get called out.
Yeah, no.
It happened once or twice with some
Did they
kids.
give you a note to take home?
Yeah, they used to
Yeah,
come
that's
in,
what happened
And I
to me.
remember when they used to come in with these envelopes, and when I didn't know what it was, I was like, "Hey, I want one."
Oh my god.
No, you don't.
Until
No,
I
you
got
don't.
one, I was like, "Oh, yeah," but
I
it was
win.
just like a reminder note and
Yeah.
stuff. So they were a bit more subtle than that. That's a takeaway.
No, they called my dad straight up. And he
At
was
least
like,
they
tell
didn't
them-
come in and go, Rushdi Rafiq, who hasn't paid his school fee. You, yes, you, the
So
non-fee
the
payment.
hustle at my school was that you would pay for the school fee, and then the kids would start coming to school. And then they go, all right, you need books. Let's hook you up with your books,
God, yeah.
and your notebooks, and your
Yeah.
textbooks, and blah, 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 in your gyms, shorts, or whatever it is. And they give you this thing to sign, and you just sign, and you're a kid, you don't know.
Exactly.
And that's you saying, hey, my dad's going to pay this, and your dad has no idea. That's consequences.
I knew my dad wouldn't pay, so I still signed. I was certain he wouldn't pay.
Guys, can I ask you something?
You go
Sure.
for it.
Did you, for your field trips, now this is a Brown
Oh, God.
question, for your
Yeah.
field trips, how was the process of you, taking that, whatever the piece of paper
Slip?
is, slip, and going to your parents and explaining to them where you're going to go, why you need the money, and what you're going to do?
Money, dude. Ours was like $10, $15. I think
Yeah,
we were
pretty
paying gas
straightforward.
money.
Pretty straightforward with mine. Like, yeah. Most of the time, I didn't want to go, and my parents didn't push me, so I got away. Why? What? I feel like something happened with you.
Oh, no, but I tried a big one, right? So.
Oh, you signed it yourself.
No, not that. No. I tried a big one. I went from like local field trips to the zoo park, milk factory.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we
Sun
in
Top,
Saudi.
Sun Cola, yeah,
Yep.
classic ones, right?
Chips
Yeah.
factory.
Yeah.
No,
I remember going to a
I didn't
zoo.
get one.
Zoo trip with my school in Saudi, and they had like chickens, and I'm like, is this a zoo or we had
Or
a
a farm.
poultry, had a poultry factory? Why am I packing these eggs?
The,
With child labor.
but there's one that you do for the United Nations. You go over to, I don't know, Copenhagen or somewhere. It's
Yeah.
a whole program, and there's a bunch of money, and there's flights and stuff. So one day I turn up, I go, there's a field trip. Oh, right, how is it? And it's like a week field trip, but here's the paperwork. And that one didn't fly. My dad's like, you're crazy. You think I made out of money? What are you doing? This is about your education. I'm not, you can learn
This
it
is
from
not
the
a Euro
kids
trip.
when they come back.
We've got encyclopedias.
What's wrong with just doing it at your school?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so old now. You're so old. You want
So
to
they
go?
didn't let you go.
Yeah.
Would have been an entirely different career for.
Yeah. Someone would
Osama.
be like a scientist. Or something.
No,
Man,
probably been the same.
I don't know. Is this a thing in Sri Lanka? With we have like one of the things I didn't realize was when I used to go back to Pakistan for Pepsi and all that. They just call it cold drinks.
Cold drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Want
that
cold
in Sri Lanka as
drinks?
well?
Yeah, you want
And I
cold
didn't know. I just thought it was like what everyone calls it then because of
Yeah.
those visits to Pakistan. And I came and I realized no one else says cold drinks. Like,
Yeah.
like you get.
And you serve it. So that's the whole expression, serve the cold drinks, right?
And also, they don't in Sri Lanka. If you say you want cold drinks, you say yeah, and they just serve you a drink cold.
There's another.
It's not a joke. Like you don't know if you're getting Sprite. I mean, if you don't say something,
It's a Russian
they'll just
roulette.
get you. Yeah,
It's
they'll
like the
just get
Sri
you
Lanka
something. Yeah, they'll just
cold drink
What
roulette.
I,
Coke,
I
Fanta or Sprite, whatever.
my last trip to although this wasn't in my family, but this is definitely something I've experienced in Pakistan. My last trip, and they said, "What did they say? Cold drinks, yes." And then the guy turned to me and said, "Black or white?"
What?
Oh, I know.
Black or
Oh,
white?
Sprite and.
Yeah, well, that's clear. It's not even white. It just threw me off the first time I'd heard it because you'd
Black
probably
or
hear that with wine.
I
like
can't
red or
believe they
white.
brought race into.
Black or white. I was like,
Carbonated
what?
drinks.
And then you pick, and then they hook you up. But yeah,
Wow.
that's a must. And also, I think as part of that, every time somebody visits, doesn't matter if it's relatives or your friends or anybody, there's always like a meal that your mom sorts out for
yeah.
everyone.
This meal, this thing about like brown thing, very cliched, and lots of people have discussed this, but I remember the exact time I discovered this bit, right? I had this American kid in my class, and we were hanging out, and we were hungry, and he takes off this sandwich, right? Like a really nice sandwich, and he said, "I made it." And I was like, "What do you mean you made it?" Right? Like to me,
Yeah.
You
How
don't-
can you create a
parent,
food?
parents or nannies make
Correct,
it, yeah.
yeah.
So he said, "No, I love cooking."
Oh my god.
And again, like second shock was like, "What? But
Yeah.
you're not supposed to cook."
Yeah.
And then he said, "It's because I want to be a chef,"
Wow.
and that blew my mind. I was like, "Why would you, bro? Yeah, what is that all about?" Must be 12, 13, maybe.
Yeah.
So it was the first time I realized these guys think about other like. And I remember asking him, "Your parents okay with that? Like,
Yeah.
won't they be disappointed?" And he's like, "No, my dad pretty supportive of it." And I was like, I couldn't imagine. And I know this is cliche. We talk about
Yeah.
you can only be an engineer, doctor, but to me that was the moment when I went, "Oh, other people are not like that."
Yeah.
It's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
I do wonder about him sometimes. Like, did he?
He's probably a chef,
Probably is.
or he's an accountant, and.
Or he's telling
manager.
someone right now about how he fooled this brown kid into thinking he made a sandwich.
Stupid
my,
brown kid.
my parents tried to definitely influence my decision on what I wanted to study up until a certain point, and they're like, he's just not picking up in math. We were trying year after year,
Oh.
you know.
My
He's-
mom in third grade, because I got really good marks in science that year in third grade. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, "Doctor." Just decided my fate. Right there. She really wanted me. To,
Yeah, and I think they go ahead and brag to their friends as well. They go, oh yeah, no, Sal is a genius.
Yeah.
He's
But that's common for any parent across anywhere.
So I did the GCSEs and then the A levels, and then at the same time I took the SATs, which really honestly was like a piece of cake. So I had like a 1490 or something like that. And my dad took that score and rubbed it in all his friends' face. And he said, 1490, 14 scholarship offers from the U.S. Oh, really? Is he going? No, we're sending him to England. Illogical, right? Why do you want to brag if you're not even going to follow through
Just
with
a
it?
Swiss Army knife of like boasting. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
But that brings me to something that needs to be addressed right here, since
exactly.
we're talking about the
Do it.
Yeah, let's go.
We need to
Changing the
talk
world.
about the rumor mill, right?
Rumor mill.
Everyone has an uncle who has a cousin who's uncle's brother's dog walker, works for the army general, and he knows a new piece of intel that nobody else knows, and they go, see,
I told it.
do you see this nuclear formula? I'm like, what formula? The nuclear formula. This nuclear formula was invented by a Pakistani.
Yeah. We like to
Look
take
at
ownership.
Oddly enough,
Look at this
Osama's the one who
WhatsApp
tells
video.
me this stuff.
Look at this
Osama's
WhatsApp
that uncle, basically. Osama tells me some dodgy stuff.
The uncle has become the uncle.
Oh no, I've been just slowly transforming.
On
It
that
does.
note,
Yeah, we've been talking way too much.
yeah, let's wrap this up.
Any final? I can't think of anything. I know there's so many, but we'll have to do a part 2 of this.
Yeah, no worries. And
Yeah.
we're collating. Is that the right word? Audience questions. We're gonna address them next.
I
next
did have.
episode.
We'll leave it to the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We've been rounding them up.
Shall I roll with a couple of shockers? I just realized my wife is English, and
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
one
so-
final one.
Well, you
She-
said
yeah.
he had to show off
Yeah,
about
oh
one.
no,
exactly.
no, but But I just started thinking, hang on a second. There's a number of times she was so shocked culturally.
Oh yeah,
You know,
she
by,
would know. Yeah,
by a lot
exactly.
of things.
What is it?
One, I said, hey, some of my cousins are coming over, and she's like, great. And I'm like, you need to wear this. I give her a lehenga, and she's like, hey, that's really over the top. I was like, just wear it.
Yeah.
And like 8 people show up, and she's like, what? And I'd been cooking all day, and she's like, you've never done this, and what's going on? And I'm like, this is how we do. This is really normal. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, the guests.
Yeah,
the
the
whole
guests.
thing.
And then
Oh,
they
yes.
arrived, and they're really late, and she's like, what the heck is going
We're like,
on?
this is-
You know, this is, when are we going to eat? And I'm like, just wait. And then we ate, and we hung out, and then they took like 4 million photos. And the whole experience was just totally bizarre for her. But
yeah.
totally normal for me. I was like, that's
Yeah.
how you do. That's
Yeah.
how you
Totally
hang
normal.
out.
My house had like people coming, going, like it was just like
It's like a hotel.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
It's a hostel actually.
Rushdie, your house still is like that.
It is, man. My sister was over yesterday. Kids running around,
Yeah.
naked kids, kids throwing balls at everything. It's all crazy, man.
Yeah, I didn't know this concept of like calling in before
Yeah, yeah.
you arrived.
Yeah,
Like, it was-
or another, like my brother came to visit. He called me one night before. He's like, "I'm coming tomorrow," and I told my wife he's coming tomorrow. She's like, "What the hell?"
yeah.
That's super
my,
short.
my
notice.
parents would be very cool about it. Sometimes you'd be getting ready to go somewhere and someone would show up and they'd be like, okay, we'll just stay home. And you know, as a kid, you'd be like, but,
But the toy from the
Yeah.
Happy Meal, no deliveries. The 1990s, they deliver, no.
yeah. All right, on that sad note,
Yeah,
we ready to do?
yeah. I've been Rushdi,
I've been Osama.
I've been Salman.
and this was
Sal and Rushdi done.
Enjoy करिए आपको. चलो guys, like, share, love और subscribe. और join us next time for